Hey guys, I was trying to replace my clutch and flywheel. At the time, I didn't know I already had the Nismo edition. I mean, everything seems fine. I don't see no bad heat marks or anything like that. No scores, no nothing. So I'm just gonna replace the clutch. At the time, if I would have known that I already had the stupid single disc Nismo flywheel, I should have invested to get a stage 2 or stage 3 clutch. But oh well, you learn the hard way. Right now, what I'm gonna try to do is take out the pilot bearing. Do not have a stupid puller or anything like that. I forgot all about it. So I'm gonna try something different to see if I can remove it. So just let's try to see if it works. Okay, what I've done is stuff in the pilot bearing hole with water paper. This is gonna be my first time trying it this way. I do not have a puller, and what I'm gonna do next, since I've already stuffed it, I don't have a punch or anything like that, so I got a 10mm socket that I'm gonna use, put right there, get a hammer, try to beat it up, forcing the water paper go into the between the engine and the pilot bearing and try to push it out. So we're gonna see how that works. I really haven't ever done this type of method. This is gonna be the first time doing it, so it's gonna be a good experience for me. Okay, this is the second time that I'm gonna hit it. As you can see, it already started moving. I don't really know if you can see that well, but it already started moving. The method works. The only thing that I had to do, since the socket is hollow on the inside, I had to put another, either a nut or a bolt. In this case, I have a bolt. That way it can compress the paper going in, try to force the pilot bearing off. So it's taking a little, I wouldn't say a little time. It's just you have to pack it and keep on packing. That way you have enough paper there, so it can push the pilot bearing out. So we're gonna continue doing this until I get it off, and we'll see how it goes, really, I guess. Okay, this is the third time that I hit it so far. I don't know if you can see, it's already off from the seam, so I can probably even just get some pliers and just pull it out. I'm gonna continue with the water method, the paper water method. See how far I can actually get it out. It's actually pretty easy. I wasn't expecting something this easy. I usually since I'm at home, I don't have access to grease or anything like that, so it's I'm in a tight space, and I don't have access to grease. I usually pack it with grease and then hit it the same way I'm doing it right now, and the grease usually push the pilot bearing out. But since I'm at home, I really don't have no grease or anything like that, so what I did is just regular water with paper, soaked it in, and then stuffed the paper into the pilot bearing, and then with the 10mm socket with a nut or bolt inside, that way it can actually compress and not have the paper going inside. Hammer it into the pilot bearing, and it's making pretty much the paper go inside around the pilot bearing and then push it out while compressing this in. So it's actually a pretty good cool little trick if you don't have anything like a puller or anything like that. I'm having a pretty easy time taking it off. I just have to clean everything, all the little mess, water, paper, shit off the flywheel, and that's it pretty much. So let me continue with the stuffing it in, see how far I can get it out just with the water paper method, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so it took me a total of 5 or 6 packings. I really don't remember. So this is what I did. stuff it in with paper and water, or soak water paper, whatever you want to call it. Put a 10 millimeter socket, an extension, whatever you want to hit it on the socket on the end. Put a nut bolt, that way it can compress the paper water into the pilot bearing, and that way it can actually go around the pilot bearing and push it out. This is the 5th or 6th time that I did it. I honestly don't remember. And as you can see, let me focus. There you go. The pilot bearing is completely out, pretty much. There. Pilot bearing is out. As you can see, the water was pushing everything out. I have a ton of water paper there, so I have to dig it out now. But there it is. Pretty easy, simple. If you don't have no grease or a puller, all you need is newspaper, printer paper, whatever you can get, and soak it with water. Once you put it in, I use a 10 millimeter socket with a bolt on the inside, that way it can compress the paper, and my hammer. And once you hammer it in, don't do little light blows. Do hit it like you mean it, pretty much. That way the water, all the water goes in and pushes the pilot bearing out. Because if you do little light blows, all the water is just gonna run down, not compress or escape pretty much on the through the flywheel. So there you guys have it. I actually kind of like this method. It is a little, it took me what, maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so to take it out. But if you don't have nothing else like a puller or grease, I highly recommend this method. There it is, the pilot bearing, 10 millimeter socket with a bolt inside and water paper. Alright, I hope you guys like this new method, I guess, if you don't know it. So, time to pull all the water paper out and put the new pilot bearing. Have a good one.